Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add all kinds of games to your backlog or your wish list or your now playing list or whatever you're doing out there. I'll tell you what, we're going to add to it. We're going to make sure that you got all kinds of games, filling those lists that you won't have any time to get to. No, that's not the goal. It might end up being the reality, but it's not our goal. It's going to be okay. You're going to get to the games, and so will I. Somehow we will get through this, and we'll come out stronger together. Right? Right. Hey, I am back with a new one to the channel. Anybody that has been hanging out for at least a little bit of time, well, you folks know that I am an absolute glutton for bullet heaven games, and this is another one of those. This is a game called Crimson Dawn, and this just released out of early access on April 11th, just the other day here. And so I want to thank the dev for allowing me to have a copy to show off on the channel. And what we're going to try to do here is have a good run or two. We'll see what we can see. And we're going to get into some food talk because Easter happened, and you know what else happened? Meat. Meat happened in a very, very big way. So we're going to talk about that. No coffee talk today. You know why? Because I'm playing in the evening. And, the last thing we want is a caffeinated goat up all night. It's no good. It's no good for anybody. You're just going to have to take my word for that. So we're going to get into all that, and who knows, maybe some other topics along the way. Sometimes things happen in the game, and next thing you know, we're talking about all kinds of craziness, right? Just going off topic, very rambly, right? That's what we usually get with these bullet heaven games, because it's not a deck builder where I'm like, oh god, the decisions, it's killing me, it's weighing me down. What are we talking about again? So, Wazda, just Wazda on these bullet heavens. I love them. So anyway, let's start throwing some daggers, shall we? Before we get to the topics, let's get to this. Let's get to the state of the state, the things of the things, the channel, and how things are going. Things are going quite well, and you know what? It's because of you. If you are new here, thanks so much for being here. If you're not new here, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate all the support that this community is providing lately. And, if you are new here, we'd love for you to hang out more often and really get an opportunity to earn the right to your subscription. Have you join us out here even more often, right? You can fill that wish list even more than it already is. It's going to be okay, though. This is how it works out. So we fill you up, right? Those knees are just creaking under the pressure and the weight of the wish list and the backlog. Maybe you're like Meisuko, one of our community members. He always tells me, Goat, the other day, I had the crippling back pain. I had the crippling knee pain. I had to call the wife in, help get me up out of bed. I said, my God, Meisuko, I'm so sorry to hear that, Sorry, not sorry, though. Look at all those awesome games you got to play. You're welcome, right? Quit your complaining. So it's okay. We're gonna fill you up, right? But then we're gonna lighten you down, because all that money's gonna come flying out of your wallet and given over to Steam or wherever you like buying games. Okay? So we're gonna make you wrong, but then we're gonna make you right again. So join us out here. It's always a good time. So the Easters happened, and, you know, I wasn't going to do a whole lot, right? Famous last words. Wasn't going to do a whole lot because my wife was going to make a ham. And her ham is really, really tremendous. And so I thought, all right, you know, I'll let the ham be the absolute star of the show, per usual. And her cousin was coming. He was going to bring some beef as well. And so I thought, okay, ham, beef, sounds great. But then you know what happened? The attendee list, it just started growing a little bit. And I would say that a window of opportunity opened up for the GOAT to maybe think about, you know, some additional options. And so we have a chest freezer down in the basement, as you do, and I'm doing laundry the other day, just taking a quick gander in the chest freezer, and wouldn't you know what I see hanging out there? Eons ago, on sale, I bought a prime rib, and we just, you know, didn't get around to it. And so I thought, you know, boy, wouldn't it be a good time to do a prime rib? But, you know, it can't be just any prime rib. What can we do to step up some prime rib? And I thought, oh, I know. We can maybe figure out a way to utilize Dr. Love. A Dr. Love is what I call a flavor injection needle that I have. You know, I have been known to inject pork shoulders with Frank's Red Hot sauce and then smoke those up, right? So anytime I get an opportunity to pull out Dr. Love, I do, because that's the right thing to do. If we're talking about meat and the smoker, I like a good flavor injected beef. So I thought, you know, what if we took everybody on a trip to Jamaica and we hit this beef with some Jamaican jerk marinade? Right? Are you with me? Jamaican jerk beef. It's a thing. So I said to myself, you know what? I think that I have sold myself on this idea. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to tell you that is exactly what I did. We got this prime rib, got it defrosted, pulled it out. I was going to put it in a freezer bag, but it was too awkward of a size. You know, this was a 6-pounder. Couldn't fit it in there for the life of me. And so what we did instead was actually used a Target bag. You know, the Target store? A couple Target bags sitting there. I said, you know what? Let's pop the prime rib right in there. What could go wrong? Turns out nothing, by the way. So, you know, got the prime rib chilling. Got Dr. Love out there. Filled it with the marinade. Pumped up this prime rib full of Jamaican jerk marinade. And proceeded to let it sit and chill in the fridge for about 36 hours. Big day comes, get the smoker going. Get smell of hickory is in the air. 225 degrees with an F. And put that sucker in there. And I brought it up to 130 degrees. You know, because typically you're going to get 5 to 10 more degrees when you pull it out. I was shooting for a nice medium. I didn't want to go too much towards the rare side because, you know, there's a lot of people eating it, and not everybody likes rare, but I think for the most part, people can agree on a solid medium. You know, just a nice little tinge of red in there. But now here's the best part, okay? I have a really fun kitchen device called a Burns-O-Matic. And the Burns-O-Matic is a flamethrower that is used to sear the hell out of your meat. And so I took the beef out once it had hit 130. But we gotta watch our health here. This is not looking great. Chance to heal character when a monster dies through weapon attack. 2% chance. I think we're gonna use some soul reap and just hope for the best, and maybe we can pick up some meat along the way. See, all this beef talk, and now I need some for my character. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's claim the reward. Don't worry. We're gonna get back to the flamethrower in a moment, but I am gonna visit our blacksmith here and see what we can see for these different weapons, because we have been picking up resources along the way. Let's go with size, and let's do additional projectiles. And cooldown would be welcomed also. Looks like we can do some stuff over here as well for the lightning attack. Now, of course, we've got to get these attacks once we are in the game and playing, but this is a starting point to make them slightly better once you get out there in the field. Okay, some nice upgrades there. Let's pop back in and let's go with these first two and see if we can get through, as I think we attempted this last time, and that's the one that we weren't able to do. So we'll just go slay the 400 and see what happens there. Good opportunity for a sip. I've got a LaCroix, the Limoncello. It's kind of lemony and vanilla-y both at the same time. It's really nice. So anyway, pull out the prime rib and I popped it in a foil container. You know, the deep foil pans that you can get, like if you're gonna do a big turkey in the oven, you know, you want something you can toss out. My wife got me really nice one of those pans because she knew I was going to be doing this, and you know, really it was combo for her and me because she didn't want me to make a huge mess in one of our dishes. She's seen me do this before, so quite honestly, it was a smart path for her to take. Good on her. You know what? We're going to go with this pickup range rare. An additional 60% is pretty huge. So I take this thing out, and you know, there was a pretty decent chunk of fat that hadn't fully rendered out on the outside of the prime. Yeah, my smoker only gets so hot, and it stays pretty moist in there too with the water reservoir. Let's just see here. You know, I guess we'll go with the Ray +1. So I've got it out. We're good to go. And, you know, I am basically starting out with a really good focus on that fatty area. And you're just watching this fat bubble up and turn to just a beautiful golden crisp. It's just so awesome to see. All right, I'm going to go pick up range again. because I think that's going to really pay dividends, especially when the screen starts getting super crowded. So I've got the sides coming along super nice. My brother-in-law is watching in awe and recording all of it as well. At some point, I'm going to get these cooking videos together so that we can show them off on the channel. Sometimes I've tried to move the footage into my video editor, and it doesn't like the format for whatever reason. So I've got to play around with it because it just needs to be seen by more people. Yeah, it's one thing hearing about it, but if you just see the way it sizzles and how hot this Burns-O-Matic gets so quickly. It's actually a propane torch, but it has a, how do I want to say? It has kind of a metal filter at the end that the flame gets stopped by, and that does two things. It distributes the heat more equally, but it also stops the propane from hitting whatever you're cooking, so that you don't get that nasty propane flavor. Nobody wants that. But it's just a thing of beauty, and look, could I have taken this entire thing and put it under the broiler for a moment and gotten very similar results? 100%. 100%. But if I was to say to you, hey, listen, there's a couple different ways we could do this, okay? Yeah, we can take this whole thing and, turn the dial up on the broiler, you pop it in there, and, yeah, keep your eye on it. Probably need a minute or two, and, we'll have that nice, crispy shell that's just so delicious and tasty on the beef. Or I could hand you this flamethrower, and you could go to town on this beef and get up close and personal and, grab some smells of that smoky fat and crust just coming together on that beef. What would you like to do? Do you want to bring this inside and go to the broiler? No, you don't want to use the broiler. Come on. You're taking the damn flamethrower, and so am I. So, we get it in there, and you're slicing it up. And, there's always a moment where you're like, I really hope it turns out. I really hope it turns out. It turned out. It turned out great. And it was a huge hit. It went very quickly, which is always a really nice compliment, Prime rib is one of my dad's favorite things. And I think I saw him eat 4 pieces of prime rib. That's a special thing. Really is. My wife's ham was great. Really, really, really great. The sides that accompany our holiday gatherings are really always the stars of the show. And maybe you're in a similar scenario where, the meat is great and everything, but my God, the green bean casserole, or whatever it is that you like, right? My wife's cousin does something called a corn souffle, and it's almost like a creamy cornbread casserole. It is one of my favorite things. We're going to go distance on this one. We're going to go distance over here. So those beams are going to be even lengthier. Let's see what else we can do. Looks like we're full up on these other ones. Hey, here's something. Which one is this? Tornado. Okay. Let's go cool down so that we can have it firing off that much more often. Now, there are different classes that we can choose from. I just happen to be going with the Sorceress. I really like her starting capabilities. But we can open up different dudes along the way. And then there's a way to exchange certain resources for other resources at the market here as well. But really, I've just been kind of jumping in and playing, seeing how long I can last. Let's try this again, because I think that's what tripped us up in the Wasteland last time. Yeah, I have to admit, I love a great casserole. My brother-in-law makes a stuffing with breakfast sausage. And when I tell you that this is the perfect combination of salty and sweet, it is nothing short of incredible. And he loads it with sausage. Just loads it. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. I kept going back for more of that. All right, let's go Meteor. And we'll just start to buff the starting capabilities and look for the new capabilities along the way. I think I definitely want to consider some of the passives this time. We didn't do a great job of that the first time, and I think that hurt us quite a bit. The magnesis definitely comes in handy. Well, let us know what some of your favorite side dishes are when you're having a holiday gathering. Now we'll go Ray +1. Already put a decent amount of points into that with the meta progression. That could be a nice leading combat technique for us. The desserts were just incredible. You know, the one that I want to talk about was something really unique that my wife put together. Wow, look at this. Another 60% to pickup range. That is wild. Let's absolutely do that. My wife bought 3 or 4 different flavors of sherbet, you know, separate cans. She didn't go rainbow for this. And she made this sherbet cake where it was layers of sherbet and whipped cream, and then there was a thicker layer that kind of acted as the crust, and the layer was comprised of macaroons, either macaroons or macarons. You know, the one that's coconut, not the cookie with the different flavors. I'm probably saying it wrong. There's a really good chance I'm saying it wrong. It's one of those. And you know, I'm not a huge coconut guy, but I got to tell you, it was refreshing and it just worked. It really came together. Blew me away. Look at this, 180% pickup range. Wow. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. So I had, you know, I had a piece of that, and then I said, you know what? We're going to have to hurt me again on this one. We sure are. And so I had a second piece, and then my brother-in-law said, boy, you know, what is that there? And I told him what it is. And I said, you know, you got to try this thing. And hey, you know what? While I'm up there, I think we're going to hurt me again. So I had a lot of it. You know, and then there was a chocolate eclair cake that is just, you know, all of this stuff is just fantastic. And, you know, it's all really nutritious as well. A lot of nutrition in all the desserts, you know, because the sherbet, I'm sure there's fruit in there. You know, they're getting that flavoring from somewhere. So a lot of health food was consumed at the end of the meal, which is interesting, you know. But that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So everything was a pretty big win, I would argue. We had a good time. It was a great gathering. And, you know, the nice thing about it, hey, look at this. Pickup range increases maximum HP. That'll probably buff our HP as well, which I think this would be good too. 2% reduction in cooldowns. Yeah, let's go with this one, and then we are going to have to think about health here. Because we're down to 24. We're just going to have to kind of avoid the horde a little bit more at this point. Otherwise, we're going to be out rather quickly. All right. So we've got a good build going so far. Just took some hits along the way to get here. Maybe there's some food laying around that we can grab over here. Let's see what we got. Soul Reap, 4% chance. Monster dies to enemy or to weapon. Let's go with that. And we'll just keep looking for opportunities to enhance the health a little bit. I can see the Reap popping off already. That's great. I think that big guy reached out and nabbed me there. Oh, we're getting surrounded, man. Roots might help us a little bit. Oh, that was clutch right there. Wow. Look at that. We're back up to 90. Holy smokes. That's great. Roots just coming in and slowing these guys down for us. That's great. Now we're going to have to take a couple hits here and there. What do we want to do here? See, this wouldn't be bad either. Let's go with that, actually. All right, so we have accomplished the first two tasks at hand, and now we've got to survive for the 500 seconds part of the deal, which is going to be it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Thankfully, we've got a good setup so far, and there's a couple of chests over here that we're going to try and nab if we can just grab an opening here with the horde, in addition to some nice resource gangs. All right, I say we go. Boy, man, that is really pulling on me, you know? All right, we're going with that. I think that's going to pay off. All right, something good here. We go magic orb, more projectiles. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's get this. What do we have here? Knight's armor, size, all weapons plus 30%. Cooldown, all weapons plus 10%. Wow. I'm on board. Things are certainly popping off a little bit more frequently, it seems. What does this do? If the character moves in the same direction for at least 0.75 seconds, they gain bonus damage. Or we knock the cooldown down and damage doubles on the magic orb. I think that's what we're doing. All right, found a nice opening here. And a bunch of resources as well. All right, perfect. Musket +1. Oh, I do like the roots. Yeah, let's go roots. Now that expanded on the damage over time of the roots. I would like to see more roots happening. I'd like to see that as a next upgrade in the progression options. Uh-oh. We are probably coming into it here. Okay, a little bit better cooldown. That wouldn't be terrible. Let's do that one. Now let's try and find an escape path here. We got to grab some health back again. This is going to double our projectiles once more. More size. Better cooldown. Let's do it. We've got some bigger looking beasties coming our way here. Uh-oh. We're getting trapped in. Oh! Alright. Hey, folks. That's going to do it for this one. This is a game called Crimson Dawn. This released on April 11th. And if you have an interest in this one, I'm going to leave a link to the game's Steam page in the video description, per usual. Let us know if you're going to end up checking this one out. I'm glad we were able to hang out a little bit here and enjoy a nice bullet heaven. I feel like it's been a little bit of time since we've played a bullet heaven on the channel, which, you know, it feels odd to say. I love them. Thanks to the dev for the copy of the game and being able to play this one and show it off. And thanks to you as well for hanging out, for all the support lately. And I'll tell you what, we'll do this again sometime soon out on the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we will play a roguelike or a roguelite. And you know why? Well, because that's what we do every time on the channel. You know what else we'll do? We'll give away a video game once a week, at least once a week. If we can do it more than that, we will, because I love doing giveaways, and you are the one that allows us to do that. So thanks again for that. I look forward to doing this every day. And I will catch up again sometime soon here. You take care. Be well out there.